here. It's Sunday morning. You're listening to this Monday morning or Sunday at midnight PST, depending on how pathetic your life is or how much of a fan you are of How Long Gone podcast.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, baby, it feels good. Sunday driving over to Glendale, you're just dodging fat people walking their dogs, groups of dorks in spandex on bikes. It's
And then what happened when you got to Glendale?
more of the same.
Okay.
Are you thinking that you're immune to that here?
No, I'm just saying, like, it sounded like you were describing your kind of more lower income neighborhood. You had to get through all of those hardships, and then you finally made it to
No.
the motherland.
When I came over here to the suburbs, it's the same thing, just with more Lexuses. That's the only difference, really.
more Lexi.
Lexi.
There's more Lexi here and less human feces. Both of those seem like selling points to you, Chris.
I'll take human feces over a reskinned Toyota at a higher price personally, but I understand that some people
Reskinned Toyota at a higher. I like that you have. By the way, How Long Gone? With this unedited, raw, uncut, of course, is one of those episodes. So buckle up. It's about to be one of those motherfucking episodes.
vroom vroom. I pulled up in the E350.
So Chris said that his hatred for Lexus cars, just one of hundreds of different types of cars, is that flame is burning hotter and more dubious, murderous than his hatred of stepping on human feces, looking at human feces. Smelling human feces.
None of that stuff has ever happened to me. I don't walk. First of all, I exercise, and then I walk in New York, where the city is designed.
The valet from the valet from Sun Life Smoothie. You go bloom bloom. The door opens up, and he just carries you like a small baby into the front door.
Actually, yesterday it was nice because the lead valet at the Grove is a bigger guy, so he could kind of really support me.
Which one was it? I befriended a valet at the Grove. I'll say, I don't want to get the guy canceled, but he was a predator.
In what? A predator towards you?
No. I had to defend the life of a female ally of mine.
Is this a person I know, or is this?
You do know them.
What? Oh. What?
Her name's Emily Oberg, and she was accosted by a valet driver at the Grove the last time we went to Cheesecake.
Was he smelling her used Sporty and Rich in the bag? Did he open her tennis bag and take a whiff?
She's like, no. Those, don't look in there. Those clothes are all dirty. And he's like, yes. Yeah.
She's like, cashmere doesn't actually smell bad. It doesn't retain the smell.
He's like, you couldn't afford these clothes, and he's like, I'll pay more if they're well worn.
Exactly. So what?
So we were doing our bi-monthly Cheesecake check-in. Side note: if you have seen the photo of the guy who has the Cheesecake Factory logo tattooed down his forearm, you don't have to send me that image anymore.
Please
on
stop.
Twitter or Instagram.
Anything, guys. We've told you this 1,000 times. Anything you send us, we've already seen. It goes without fail.
Yeah, even if we haven't seen it, we've seen it.
Yeah, it's either I haven't seen it or it's not funny. There's only two categories.
Ooh. It was cool to see a guy who has, or actually, it could have been anyone.
Is it cool? It's stupid, is what it is.
It's stupid.
Getting a chain restaurant tattooed on your arm to commemorate all your visits to said chain restaurant is literally like the internet has ruined our brains.
It's very polar. It's like you're either the most interesting person in the entire world, or you're just a guy who like did some train hopping and like you used your last dime.
This
to
guy
get
drives
a pretty nice tattoo.
No, this guy drives a Honda
logo.
Civic that makes too much noise when it rounds a corner. 100%.
Well, speaking of cars, we're back at the valet.
I'm sorry, we're at the valet.
Americana.
Is Oberg in the G or
Oberg's in the G wagon? Okay. There's a little bit of a nip in the air, sure.
Okay.
And
cool. I didn't ask about the weather, but thank you for that. Kind of puts me in a place.
Did a couple of laps around the train tracks just to.
Of course.
Cheesecake can get a little heavy. It'll kind of sit, and we did have the sundae. Mm-hmm. And I'll say it again: the Sunday at Cheesecake, it's better than South Beverly Grill. But that's about where the
we're going to get into that later.
The plating, hold me back. Hold me back.
Chris, I had to tackle him just now. Sorry for the noise.
And we were like, oh, we parked over here in the parking lot, like the Poors. And she's like, not me.
Yeah, you don't valet at the Grove?
So we walked her to the valet. Never again will I not valet. By the way. Never there. But
only
also,
a small $12 surcharge.
Bay has she has a Caruso power user.
That's
so,
right.
You know.
Everything's free.
She likes to flash the pinky ring medallion that unlocks every gate over there.
I understand. She gets to use the bathroom.
Of course, during COVID, the unprecedented times kind of put a little bit of a pin in that. Caruso wasn't so grateful for his power.
No,
spenders.
exactly. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic was it put a damper on all of our loyalty programs. If you think about it.
It did. I mean, I have a. Don't worry, we're gonna get to the sexual harassment. I have a gift card from Epicurious Gourmet.
Yeah.
Local North Hollywood destination for
I can't wait for you to come back with
bags of oil.
$200 in cultured butter and different flavors to really step up your game in the kitchen.
I got some German cacao. It's not cheap, but there's I got a gift certificate, and it's like I feel bad to use it because when the COVID started, it was like everyone go to your favorite restaurant, local neighborhood, small business, and buy $100 gift card and just sit on it.
We need to support
sit
these.
on it like my sweet green stock. If I were not able to,
If you were able to purchase
I was
it like a
able to-
brain having person.
Yeah.
No, of course. Well, you have to tip your barista $100 on every latte. You have to buy gift cards for all your favorite restaurants so that the Coke using tattooed server can, continue buying Coke. Because this Jack Daniels isn't cheap, Jason.
well, what I'm wondering is, they said sit on the gift
How long-
card
how
like
long
a
do you have to
bond.
sit?
Yeah. I don't. I will not. I will see. I will see my death. I will see my last breath leave my body well before it is time to be able to use that gift card.
Look, is it possible that maybe much like the popular cryptocurrencies, it's increased in value, or do gift cards just kind of stay where they're at?
Well, gift cards, they do stay where they're at usually.
Is this a DAO?
Unless, well, I mean, it depends on if you got a gift card or a gift certificate from a local business that kind of implemented the rules and restrictions into the blockchain, which is
I
an
understand.
unbreakable chain that exists in the
understand.
metaverse.
Unbreakable Chain is one of my favorite 7 inches, and I'm glad that you brought that up.
But this is, I just have a piece of paper.
So your Epicurious paper, it hasn't gone up to 105.73 or anything. It's still a flat 100.
It's still a flat 50.
Who gave you this?
It was part of a larger bouquet of gift cards, Chris.
Oh, that's nice. So somebody really wanted to support local.
Shout out to
businesses.
my man Andy Nauman, friend of the show. He got
Oh, that's right. This was a myriad of gifts. That's very nice.
he
of him.
stayed at we got a Epicurious.
Also,
we got a couple other.
for a New Yorker to even know to go to Epicurious to get the gift card that's the gift in itself.
Wonder who taught him that.
I don't
Is
know.
there anyone?
Is
on
there
this
a
podcast?
foodfluencer in this room?
He did give us a cookbook gift card as well. Please believe that thing didn't even go into the wallet. It was just straight.
We were over at Lauren Sherman and Dan Frommer's house, and they had some delicious potato chips on the table before dinner. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Are these Jose Andres chips?" They're like, they are. They're from Cookbook.
Were they were taken out of the bag?
Yes.
Were they in a Heath Ceramics bowl?
Yes.
Okay. What flavor?
Plain. Before dinner, chips have to be plain.
Okay. Maybe what if just a little a kiss of herbes de Provence.
Oh well, that's fine. Of course.
Okay.
I would,
Nothing further.
But
than
I just
that.
love.
We're not going to do black truffle pepperoni salami flavor.
I just love that you can only buy Jose Andres potato chips at Cookbook. And how much more do they cost than regular chips? Probably not that much.
No, it's like $1 more.
They're delicious.
You get 3 chips in a bag. But every city in
Lot of
the
air in the
world
bag.
has that
No,
one
I know,
store that has that bag of Jose Andres motherfucking chips from 2014. So as a gentleman, I say, Oberg, I'll walk you to your valet.
Yeah.
We're at the Grove. It's a great outdoor mall, but there has
So
been a string of robberies
is
there.
the sexual harassment when you put your arm around Oberg, walking to the valet, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?
We're just friends, and I'd like us to stay that way.
You're not really my type. You're poor."
There is that. That did come into play, but I was not the one on the
offense.
I was not on the.
You're
on
not
the
Pat
offense.
Mahomes in this situation.
I guess that's a football player. I don't do straight stuff. So do the key, do the handoff, do the hug bye-bye, and then the guy, the older gentleman at the valet, he would not stop talking to her and just like trying to pick her up. But he was like a grandfather.
Like he worked at the valet, or he was a customer.
No, he was wearing a vest with
He was
a
wearing
name
the
tag
uniform.
on it. Like he was a valet there. You could tell he'd been working there forever. And he was talking, and he's like, "Oh, beautiful girl in a G-Wagon.
Isn't that every
spit my
third
game.
customer?
You would think, but maybe he saw something in her that he
We all do.
Absolutely. But he wouldn't stop talking to her, followed her to her car, wouldn't let her shut the door, was still trying to talk to her. And I had to go in and physically be like, okay, time to go. I had to put my arm and
You had
tap
to
his
big
shoulder.
dog this valet?
Well, it wasn't like an this is getting weird.
You're
vibe.
a pro.
It was like an older guy, and it was clearly kind of harmless.
He didn't think he was actually gonna beat, but he just wanted the convo to continue.
He probably used to really get a lot of stank on his hang low back in 68, 70.
He might have blasted Chris Jenner in the fucking restroom at the Caruso property. It's not out of the question.
I fucked Chris, yeah. I fucked Chris at the Bloomingdale's
Oh,
hosiery
Chris,
department.
the mom. Yes, yeah, I beat.
Well, I like that you did every voice, every
Yeah.
accent.
Well, because you don't know who it is. You don't know. I don't know what this guy's accent is. I need to represent all of them.
Oh, I know what he was leaning more on the Latinx folks and less of whatever the fuck Egyptian shit you did. Shout out to all our Egyptian listeners.
We're big in Cairo, much like the pyramids. You're more of a sphinx.
So I had to.
So
I
you
didn't
say-
big dog him. I didn't puff my chest out and be like.
Well, that wouldn't have
step
worked
aside.
much because he'd be like, "Damn, is there a pigeon out here somewhere?"
Rick said I'm starting to get some chasms in the armpit.
Rick will say,
His words, not mine.
Rick will say whatever he's got to say to keep taking our money, and I'll give it to him because it works.
Yeah, I walk in. I'm like, that Chris on the Chris. That's his name, Chris. You do the podcast with. He's getting so fat and stupid, and you're so. Are you? I mean, have you? I mean, I don't know. You must have put on 10, 15 pounds of pure muscle mass, Jason. And you go and sit down. Oh, Jason, he's so fat and stinky and stupid.
So weak.
You're so stronger.
So stronger.
And and I'm like, he only tipped me 20 last time. I hope you do better.
Exactly. I welcome the competition personally, but I'm glad that you're there to protect Oberg from this menace.
Yeah, man.
But the valet yesterday was bumping in a way that there was no time to even sexually harass me. So I thank God.
In and out.
Thank God for that. And you know what? We didn't walk.
You didn't even have time to browse the Il Stiva boutique.
No, we didn't even. We didn't. Even, but bro, by the way, I forgot because you mentioned the new Apple store. My God,
The new Apple store where?
at the Grove, it's insane.
Oh yeah.
It's really crazy. Like it's beautiful. Like I was
It
like, I
always
need to
has
buy.
been.
I need to buy a $25 brick.
I remember going in there when it first opened, and that glass staircase in the middle. Every pervert's dream.
But the trees, I mean, it's like full size
Yeah, yeah,
trees. Like I don't. I'm
It
not.
looks like an artist rendering of what an Apple store in the future in
100%.
Oslo,
Yes.
Norway will
Yes.
look like.
That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like an artist rendering of a European store 20 years from
Yeah,
now.
but instead it's like this is across the train tracks from a cheesecake factory
Yeah.
and like a Wetzel's Pretzels.
Hey, don't forget Lululemon. Okay.
I'm Lulu Hive.
We checked out some of the other local establishments, but I posted this on Twitter, but I went to Barnes and Noble, of course, just to get a little, a dash of nostalgia from my youth where
Look at
I
the
was
mags.
shoplifting and reading and shoplifting. And
You
there-
picked up a little Joni on vinyl.
so there was a full, before you get to the magazines, there's a full display rack of this genre of magazine that I know we'll get into this, but I know it's been around, but it's taken over the grocery stores as well as now the bookstores, where it's like these magazines that are just featuring one subject. So I'm going to go left to right here.
So it's going to be one subject like
A full
astrology.
magazine.
and
No.
then state capital.
One person. Justin Bieber, Nick Jonas, Mariah Carey, Lady Gaga, Harry Styles, Stevie Nicks, the Eagles, the Eagles. Whitney Houston, Miley Cyrus, Notorious B.I.G., Lennon and McCartney, ABBA, John Bon Jovi, Johnny Cash, Jimmy Buffett. Who is buying Jimmy Buffett the magazine? But it's just, and then so I post this and I'm like, this is the darkest shit. And then of course people are like, well, this has actually been around since the early 2000s. Somebody was like, I used to get the Olsen ones and take the clippings and sell them on eBay. I'm like,
shit.
First of all, you need to keep that to yourself because that's fucking loser behavior. And
I made $7 a year doing that.
second of all, it's like, yes, guys, I know this has existed, but it did not exist in the way where there was 40 copies before you could look at regular magazines at a bookstore.
Man, everyone's got to have an opinion about everything, even a little photo that you took of a magazine rack, and that means that you're powerful.
And it's depressing. But the Grove, on the other hand, is heaven on earth.
Well, that magazine rack, it got me thinking because I saw that photo, and it is obviously a genre of magazines that you kind of see at a grocery store, and it's like every month there's a new magazine full of old Beatles photos. You pay some guy.
The Beatles are back. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I saw that thanks to Disney Plus. Apple Plus. I don't fucking know.
No, it's Disney, I think.
But you pay somebody at $200. They get a bunch of photos of the Beatles on the internet. You get them cleared or whatever, and then you sell.
Well, of course,
50,000 copies across the country.
Yeah, no.
It's terrible. It's stupid, but I don't think you can call them magazines because it's sort of just like it's like a biopic.
It's a fan book. But these other people were like, this is how Condé Nast is staying in business producing these. I'm like,
Condé makes those?
I don't know, but I'm like, you guys are all fucking dorks.
They did the Diddy.
Like, you're thinking way too hard about this. It's just bad. Let's not try to, like, there's no reason to justify, like, unless you own these and you're feeling personally attacked that you have the Elton John fan mag. Like, why are you defending this? It's weird and bad.
I think it's because we're all wound up. We're just wound up as fuck, and then every little thing is an opportunity to have a release.
I mean, I'm the biggest. I'm guiltier than most.
Of course, but that's not your fault or anyone's fault. Everyone needs to take a big old deep breath and be like, is this something that I need to reply to with? I'm going to defend Condé Nast. I'm going to defend a multinational conglomerate media company because they make like a Jonas Brothers magazine, and it sells more than National Geographic or something.
Thank God, and it should. Nature is still boring. I don't care. I don't care how good the pictures of the frogs are. You know what I mean?
Come on, bro. See that? Back in the 70s, 80s, National Geographic, that was a cool mag.
It's a legendary magazine with legendary photos. I never want to look at one, but it's legendary. I completely agree.
Young TJ got to see some of his first yabos of his entire life thanks to National Geographic.
Well, I didn't know.
You're not going to see that in a Taylor Swift magazine at Walmart.
We're never going to see Taylor Swift's yabos, that's for sure. That's the damn truth.
Damn, that's a lot right there.
We don't have time to get into that. But
there's some websites where you can find some artist dramatizations of what they might look like, though, Chris.
That is, are you talking about the Green M&M or Taylor Swift?
No, you have to look a little bit deeper.
Because I did see the Green M&M's titties this week.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's an artist rendering of the titties.
There's probably a plenty.
Yeah, it's really funny.
What's that Green M&M doing, though?
I don't know.
Slower?
I mean, I think that whatever happened with that stuff and how stupid it was and the debate it caused, it really did. Like, that to me is something that is just completely funny, and like it got intellectualized so fast in this way that I'm like, damn, it's really bad out here. Like, this is just a corporation doing something dumb, and it's only funny. There's no other way to look at it.
All of the world needs to just go to Sea Ranch for a weekend.
Well, unfortunately, Jason, the way that our bosses at Spotify are behaving, we're not getting off the hook anytime soon.
See, that's the number one thing that everyone in our bubbled silo of the world is focusing on, and it's an onion that's got a lot of layers to peel.
Yeah,
just when you thought it was over.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I see the announcement from Stereo Gum that Neil Young's auxiliary percussionist has removed his music from Spotify. So I
saw one that said Phoenix TX is doing it.
I mean, it's just, we've talked about it a lot, but it's not going away because people are so like, but I sent you guys this story from the Atlantic a while back, and it feels very timely now, but about how like boycotts can't be a test of moral purity. Like, it's like it like, what does this really mean? And like, all the people that are enraged about Spotify and what's going on absolutely use Amazon, absolutely buy Apple products, absolutely shop at fucking Zara. And it's like, we all just pick our battles and decide what's important to us.
Right.
And
you're using a device to promote boycotting a product and you're using that very product as a way to promote boycotting that product.
Yeah, it's just like,
It's a perfect flywheel.
so you're gonna
effect.
go to Apple Music, you're gonna go to Amazon Music, like you're gonna use Tidal, like, okay, dude, like, sure, it's all the same
You
shit.
got to pick the battles, and it used to be very like a real spectrum, and now it's kind of a cliff of like
Yeah.
you have to be full Luddite, like cassette deck tapes, fully off the grid, no internet, flip phone at the very most, TV antenna, the 3 basic channels. Like you have to be so off the grid, or else you're just as guilty. You're
Exactly.
just as big of a
To-
cog on the wheel as everyone else.
To achieve premium wokeness, you must live in the desert, off the grid, only listen to vinyl on a high end.
Yeah.
Obviously,
You have to buy a Thomas guide when you want to like figure out where you're going to go. And when you want to buy an airplane ticket, you have to walk to a travel agent and sit at a desk.
what happened to Chris? Oh, he died in the desert. He was trekking to the travel agent to book a flight, and he didn't make it. He couldn't. He was trying to drink one of his gallons, but unfortunately had to boycott Whole Foods because it's bought by Amazon, and he didn't want to use the plastic. So he did unfortunately die.
can't. Yeah, I mean,
he did
that-
unfortunately die in the desert.
Isn't it so cool that just the generation right before us would just like walk down the street to a travel agent
So cool.
with a purse full of crisp $20 bills and like, all right, your flight to Brussels is $498 and 20, 40, 60.
Yeah,
So cool.
exactly. Now I have to close some apps so my phone runs a little faster and hit the Delta application and then use my face to log in.
Yeah, now I just booked a trip to Mexico City, and
Jason continues to be part of the problem.
staying at I'm spreading. Staying at
No, I'm not talking about spreading.
staying at a hotel. It's like a place you could stay the night, and
You're saying like a chamber room, like you're able to.
That's
lock,
right.
Okay, they have a shower and stuff for you. Is it shared though?
it's I don't know if it's shared or not. The word next to it was comunal. I don't know what that means.
I thought you spoke Espanol.
Communal.
Oh,
You know-
communal.
Yeah, you kind of have to roll.
They're
the-
one of my favorite interior design firms, but also
Comunal.
okay.
I get to share it with some other compadres.
Yeah. Mexico City communal showers is just white people from New York and LA with tattoos that are like mole, mole, mole.
How old is this mole? Where's the mother mole from?
Did you have crickets on your taco? It's fucking crazy, dude.
Dude, if I get drunk enough tonight, I'll eat a cricket taco.
Damn, bro. I'm sorry to hear this, but I'm excited that you're going on a little holiday because I know you're stressed out. You need a back rub from your main thing. You've been stressed out.
No, I can't de-stress from life any further than I did last weekend in Sea Ranch. That was the ultimate de-stressing. Maybe too much. So Mexico City, it's not going to be a de-stressing. I'm going to be working. I'm just going to be working
right.
and eating tostadas. That's pretty
So
much
the
it.
food will be better, and the accommodations, no shots at your home, will be better.
Yeah.
Just because there's room service and stuff. If it's that, I don't know if it's that kind of place.
Four
It's probably-
Seasons.
Oh, I thought it was a continental breakfast. I thought it was like a Hilton kind of.
No, and I got a great discount at the Four Seasons thanks to a friend of the show. But I will have to sort of fake that I work at a company to get this rate. So I don't know how far.
Are you saying that How Long Gone LLC is not a real company? Because let me tell you something. It's recognized by the Better Business Bureau as well as our friends at the IRS.
After what we said about Salesforce, some of the kind of bigger fish upstream,
Are not fucking with you like that?
some they pulled a few strings, so we're not able to kind of.
What
move
if we
around
talked
as
shit
freely
about
as before.
Salesforce and then got a letter from like the Georgia state government saying we had been unincorporated? Sorry, I don't know what happened. Your paperwork, unfortunately, it was incorrect. But sir, we did this a year and a half ago. Yeah,
And they're like, if you guys have a problems managing your team or your payroll or anything, I do recommend using Salesforce
recommend-
as your CRM system.
I recommend Salesforce as a CRM system. Well, I'm excited for you to go on your little trip. And I want to go on a trip too, but nothing sounds appealing, really.
Nothing ever sounds appealing. That's for sure.
You're fucking telling me, Chief.
The problem that I think I have noticed is maybe it's a male or female trait or some kind of, depressed or happy trait. I don't know what the difference is, but like whenever the idea of a vacation is sounds good in theory. Like at one point I'm going to be laying on the beach drinking a drink out of a coconut and it's going to be hot and sunny and cool and perfect. But as soon as it's like, hey, here's the tickets, here's the hotels, then it's like, now I have so much homework to do just to prepare to do this.
I have to choose which bikinis I'm putting in the Louis Vuitton carry-all.
I'm not talking about that.
I have to decide espadrilles or Havaianas or Birkenstocks. I agree, Jason. Our lives are hard.
You have to. It's like either stay the same. Like we live in our home where all of our stuff is, our cars, our clothes, our food, our showers.
Wow, multiple cars. Do you hear this guy speaking from yet again his point?
I was talking about you and I, and our listeners who are lucky enough to be privileged to be a car owner, or all of your stuff is here. You know where it is. You know exactly what it is. All the things you like are there. You don't have to get a babysitter. You don't have to book a Uber. You don't have to do any of this shit.
We have a driver, Jason. Don't lie. You have to get a dog sitter. You have to get that. That's bro.
But I guess it is. So every time it's like, oh, we're going on vacation.
Isn't it so?
I got a great deal at the Four Seasons, and we got a great Delta flights. We got upgraded because of our thingy. This is going to be a great trip. But then it's like, the dog sitter is going to cost more than the flights.
My favorite part of our relationship is that I literally am the perfect candidate to come take care of these dogs, and there's no way in hell I would ever do it.
And there's no way in hell anyone would ever ask.
I got the time. I got the car to drive over here. We obviously have a trust between us where the keys are no big deal, but nobody asked me, and that's why I know I'm winning. Charlie Sheen voice.
What are you going to... Chris Black is not going to pick up dog shit.
No, I'm not. But I just think that it makes me feel good that I can still be a good friend and not be considered for anything like that as a task.
Yeah, because you're that one friend who has it perfectly figured out. Every group has the one friend who's like, whenever you need something, don't ask me. And everyone understands it. But the difference is that's oftentimes like, oh, that's annoying. Like, oh, you want to stay at my house? No. You want to ride from the airport? No. Do you want, all of the, I'm moving. Can you help me come move? We'll get pizza. We'll go to Side Pie. I'll get some Pliny the Elders. We'll like make it fun. And you're like, no. But everyone's like, okay, so that guy's kind of selfish, kind of a dick. But you are like, you can't stay at my house. Booked you a hotel room. Not going to walk your dogs. Got you a dog walker.
That's true.
Whatever the problem is, you not only do you throw money at the problem, you throw enough, the right amount of money to throw at the problem to where you're like, okay, this is great. There's no issue. There's no like resentment of like, he didn't help me move. But like you will be like, yeah, I hired 2 movers on TaskRabbit. They'll be at your house to help move your ugly dresser.
That's how it's got to be done. Because there's not an amount of Grateful Dead pizza that could satiate me at 39 years old to lift your bed frame. There's just no way. There's nothing more disrespectful than asking someone to help you move.
At a certain age. What's the age cutoff?
It depends on how much money you have.
Okay.
It depends on how much money you have.
Depends on where you went to school and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Help you move? What does that mean?
I don't understand. I've never done that before. My dad always had these guys that would do that for us.
Wait, we do that?
They had a big truck and they were hot.
So it's been a little chilly lately, of course. And I don't know if you noticed, Chris, but I'm wearing heat tech.
Guys,
on
Jason,
the top
Jason
and on the bottom.
Jason looks insane. Like, I don't understand why you're dressed like this. You're wearing a short sleeve polo shirt with heat tech underneath, and then shorts with heat tech leggings underneath.
So I'm wearing black leggings and black armings under a polo shirt and some Arc'teryx shorts. I look like Julia Fox playing golf.
You wish you were that thick. No, I mean
Julia Fox playing golf. Trump on a Trump course.
Of course.
Let's be honest.
Of course.
But after the ass shots have been surgically removed.
Oh, I understand. So the Brazilian butt lift is gone. All you have left is your hacky fucking swing, and you're out there.
My hacky swing, my violoncello cutout back tats.
You have
When I bend down to pick the ball out of the hole, you can see a little bit of that violin tramp stamp that she has.
Does she have a tattoo on her side?
No, you know the two little inlay marks that you see on a violin or a cello or something like that?
Yeah, that's like the thing that hardcore chicks used to do with the bows on the back of the thighs.
They still be doing that.
That's the equivalent. That's like the Julia.
If you got the stocking bow tattoo on the back of the thighs, or the two cello cutouts on the back of the lower back, you already know head game's gonna be crazy.
Oh shit!
If she has that, it's like can't bring her home to Mama, R.I.P. Donda. But what you can do is bring her to the Soho House downtown.
Yeah, down DTLA. Donda 2 in store soon, and I tell you what, I can wait. I'm all set.
Kanye said, "Wait on it," and you said, "Gladly."
No problem.
You pulled out a chair, a good book.
You let me know when it's ready.
More tea?
Yeah. I'll be right here. You just keep me, but no rush.
If there's a word for cozy that's more cozy than cozy, that's me, buddy.
I'm all set, Chief. Nah, I God damn it.
So yes, that is my look right now. Maybe I feel kind of like it's a little Blue Manny. It's a little.
I'm not even
French mime.
I'm not even mad at it. It's just like 74 degrees and beautiful outside, so it seems like overkill.
Now. It is now.
No, of course. When we get up at the crack of dawn, it's chilly outside. And
it was like 46 this a.m. I'm running. I run cold. We've talked about that a zillion times.
That's
haven't
true.
we?
I would like to go over our meal last night.
Oh, we will. But actually, that Atlantic article you're talking about, I read it, and I did see there's a lot of good through lines.
No, it's really interesting. It's really timely.
The final line of the piece said, "Don't boycott them, replace them."
Yeah.
Which so don't boycott Spotify. Replace Spotify with what?
Apple Music. Don't boycott How Long Gone.
Well, that example doesn't work because Apple Music has been trying and failing to replace Spotify for.
Of course, no. Then it has to be.
now.
It has to be Bandcamp, of course. My favorite.
It's not gonna,
Bandcamp Fridays. Support your local independent artists.
I don't know if we're ever going to find a replacement for something like that.
No, our country is built on giant corporations and them having an absolute death grip over our lives and how we spend our money.
Has there ever been a time where something like that has just straight up been replaced? I don't know if that's ever happened in our time.
No, it's not going to happen. It's crazy. Like, it's not going to happen. There's no way. Spotify.
I mean, maybe a little bit with some decentralized DAO, blah, blah, blah.
No,
bullshit,
people can chip
happen.
away at this stuff, but like, it's too big to fail. And it's also like it's like these artists that are leaving are don't matter. That's what I said the other day. It's like, no one cares about this. Like, no one, like, sure, I like Joni Mitchell. How often am I listening to Joni Mitchell? Let me tell you something. As much as Drake's getting listened to. It's all good. Key Glock is getting listened to more than Joni Mitchell and Neil Young combined. And Key Glock is like, what? He don't give a fuck. He's not getting off Spotify. He doesn't even know what Spotify is.
That's true.
But the other thing about this,
he just uploads his music to YouTube.
The other thing with these guys is they're like, well, the labels control it. The labels are the problem too. It's like, okay, well, yeah, let's go. Let's destroy Sony while we're at it. Let's start with Spotify and then we'll get Sony out of here and and then we'll be good to go.
Okay, so for all of these conglomerates, your Amazons, your Spotifys, your Airbnb, your Uber, all these things that are too big to fail, which is the one that you want? You have a target on their head you want to take down? Uber.
Fuck Uber. I want to go back to cabs.
Oh, okay.
I think we had a better society when every guy that smells bad could buy a used Camry and lock you in it and fucking drive you somewhere. Like, it's when you think about, I feel like cab drivers, it was a different, and obviously like when you go to London and the black cab drivers have to pass that test and have the insane knowledge of the city. it's just such an impressive and beautiful thing, and they make real money. It's like a career.
Yeah,
It's like human.
It was a job that had respect. And
Yeah.
like, oh my, you know,
They like humanize it. And I would say even like a yellow cab in New York can have that feel still. But you tell me a time when you've gotten in a fucking lift and you felt like these guys don't know where they're going. They're looking at their map. They're fucking watching YouTube videos on their phone the whole time. It stinks.
Okay, the problem there's two call outs here. London and New York, those are like
Yeah, that's the
cities
issue.
where cabs work
Sure.
very well.
No, that's true. That's true.
Everywhere else in America other than New York City,
But the thing is
fucked.
But the thing is
for
in
cabs.
LA,
That's why.
if you call an Uber in LA, it's taking 15 minutes to get to you anyway. So it's not like it's more efficient than calling 4444444 and getting in a fucking cab and going. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's
It
just,
is more efficient is the problem. And that's why it was an industry that was ready and willing to be disrupted.
yeah, no, and I understand that it worked for a while. I think it has stopped working.
Yeah, I mean it would be great if that went back to the way it was before and we had a trusted cab driver to take us everywhere, but that's never going to happen, bro.
No, it's never going to happen. But you know what else is never going to happen? Spotify ain't going away. Apple Music ain't going away. Amazon ain't going away. And they're just going to keep buying stuff. And they're all evil, but resistance is futile.
Yeah, I feel torn because I do like the spirit of revolution, punk rock, blah 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 blah, but also it was a pretty big win for podcasting in general versus also torn because I'm a DJ / podcaster.
No, it's true.
And
it's true.
right when I kind of move away from the music world fully into the podcast world is when this happens. I don't want to say it's the Gone effect, but the similarities and the timeline kind of adds up.
I would agree. And I think you've probably picked the two worst careers of anyone I've ever met. And I'm sorry that they keep coming for you like this, Jason, but luckily talent rises to the top. And that's why.
Since I'm so talented, these careers picked me, not the other way around, Chris.
Oh, shit.
You ever think about that, dumbass? Piece of fucking shit. All right, let's talk about where we had dinner last night.
Oh.
People like it when we talk about food.
I know. I wish they didn't. But no, we did go to famed Hillstone Group restaurant, South Beverly Grill. Beautiful Beverly Hills, California.
First time we had ever been there.
Thank you to the homie Jacob for getting our reservation at a normal time.
Yeah, we didn't have to do the.
We had the
5:30,
5:45, and I had to hit the plug to get the 7:15. You know what I'm
which
saying?
was kind of odd because I saw the 5:45 and Bay was like, "Should we do that?" And I was like, "That's going to light Chris's eyes up."
Honestly,
to
if
be
it
able to
wasn't
have
like a
5:45
Saturday
dinner.
night, I
Yeah.
would have. But I was like, I also, when I'm going to a new place, I mean, new to me, I want to see what the scene's like. You know what I mean? So as I assumed, it was rich Armenian teenagers in Yeezys, as well as geriatric Jewish guys with their families.
Yeah, that was definitely the vibe. It
Great
was
for me.
just 30% Jewish people days away from death who have been going there for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Terrible servers. I mean, treating servers terribly and all
Yes.
that stuff. There's an old lady behind me who was trying to hand the server her check while he was taking our order, and she didn't think that was wrong.
Our
whatsoever.
server was great.
He was great.
The whole experience was pretty fucking good, I have to say.
But it made me pissed off to be like, all these shitty teens like hating everything, looking at their phones, wearing essential sweatpants
Yeah.
and Yeezys, just like, oh, I have to be here. And it's like, it's a place that we are excited to go to. You know?
Agreed. No,
They're so jaded over there in Beverly Hills.
Look, man, that's what happens if you eat cake every day. You don't want cake anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, the vibe is funny, but it's those places are just run well. It's fucking pro, man. You're not waiting on anything. The guy's funny and cool and fast. It's like you can be in and out of there in 45 minutes. You can stay for 2 hours, and the experience is good on both sides.
They got the game on.
They got the game on.
Yeah, it's nice to be in a place like that that's flowing well. And
I just
it
think
has
the-
the vibe of like a Din Tai Fung or an In and Out, where like wherever you go, at whatever time of the day, wherever in the world, it's going to be just like this.
No, and I mean that's why the chain in theory works, but it's been done so poorly and replicated so badly that
a lot of people can chain. Not many can chain perfectly.
Exactly.
Just Din Tai Fung. You have to run it like a communist country is the problem.
Din Tai Fung is fucking crazy.
To have that level of consistency,
No, Din Tai Fung
what's
is
the
crazy.
downside? You know who else is consistent? North Korea.
Great point. And I'm not saying we back them or anything, but they are consistent. I don't.
They're shooting off more missiles than we are.
Yeah, they have a bigger missile repertoire. and last night I would say that the veggie burger at South Beverly Grill is one of the finer heat-seeking missiles.
I thought you were gonna go like the Scud missile. Remember the Scud missile?
Oh, Scud, big Desert Storm vibe on the Scud.
That thing was huge, and I would describe the jumbo shrimp and the cocktail
As
as
a
Scud like.
Scud sounds like
that was a knife and fork sized jumbo shrimp.
Scud unfortunately makes me think of an app where I'm going to get jerked off by a guy.
Scud.
But
Yeah, that's like oh yeah, because it's close to Scuzz.
Scruff.
Okay, there's scruff, and then Scud is what comes out of your urethra after you've scruffed.
Oh, baby. Scudding.
I'm gonna Scud.
But yeah, the shrimp cocktail was delicious, and the shrimp were truly jumbo.
Maybe
Because sometimes they're misadvertised as jumbo.
I know.
You're like, this shit ain't jumbo,
But
chief.
it had me wondering, suspecting, performance enhancing drugs or a GMO style shrimp. It was like the trans weightlifter used to be a woman, now it's a man, and it's putting up too much weight.
No, that jumbo shrimp was putting up 225, no problem. On the pec deck, no problem, 225.
On the pec deck?
Those shrimp were, but they tasted great, and I would say that the cocktail sauce did have a nice kick to it, which I always look for. Mm-hmm. And
my jumbo had a little waste product aftertaste to it.
I didn't get that really, honestly.
That's it's like the Shishito 1 in 10 is going to have
Oh,
some
I see. But no, I mean
literal
the
feces
food is good.
about
I mean,
it.
I go to all the Hillstone Group restaurants, of course, for the handmade veggie burger that is made from vegetables and not genetically engineered fake meat, and they do the best one.
Shout out to Burger Lords.
Shout out to Burger Lords.
Those guys do a good one.
Well,
too.
Burger Lords, you can't, it's actually, Burger Lords is probably better because you can get the nuggets, but they don't have the sexy atmosphere,
That's true.
And
they don't have spinach artichoke dip.
No, they don't. They have that new buffalo chicken shit though looks crazy.
It does.
It does. It looks crazy.
Just as an aside, the deviled eggs. I did not like the deviled eggs. That was the only thing I didn't like.
Well,
But
that's
I'm
your
a-
fault for ordering a nasty food. I don't
Deviled
know.
egg is one of my favorite foods of all time,
Disgusting.
but I like a smooth kind of a palm puree style. And this one was chunky. It was like oatmeal cookie batter before it goes in the oven. It was,
Jesus Christ, that's disgusting.
and on the menu, it said it was adorned with Ding's relish.
Is that a known? Is that like a what's that pickle shit you like from Boston? The hardcore pickles.
Grillos?
Is that like a Grillos thing?
No, I don't. I think Ding is just an employee.
Oh,
from-
cool. But Ding's been back there for 25 years. He gets his own.
I've never heard of a pickle relish brand called Ding's. And I was telling my life partner last night, it sounds like a racist word.
It does sound.
It
racist.
sounds like a slur
Well, I was
to our friends
which
in the
friends?
East.
Oh yeah, I agree. In North Korea, I was taken aback by the
That's why I'm boycotting South Beverly Grill.
artichoke seasonality, and the artichoke is limited edition. Which so in Atlanta. At Elmira, my favorite burrito place,
Yeah.
they would have a queso dip, and they would call it seasonal. And I think it was just like we don't feel like doing this sometimes, so if you order it, we're just not going to have it for you.
Seasonal queso
Which is
dip?
which is very cool. And I don't eat queso dip because it's fucking disgusting, but
Yeah.
it's like a funny thing. And I feel like South Beverly Grill is on that wave with a seasonal artichoke.
No, artichoke. I mean, that's an actual vegetable that
I understand, but if you go to
compared to queso.
if you go to Hillstone, I bet you they got artichokes year round. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. You mean like Houston's?
Yeah. Well, it's changed. There's no more Houston's. It's Hillstone.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. They've rebranded.
Okay. Well, somebody should tell the Houstons in Pasadena that.
No, I mean,
Change the
are you
sign.
sure it's not called Hillstone now?
I'm more sure than you are, but I'm not 100%.
Okay, interesting. That's why we talk about this on the podcast.
I'm gonna do Google Street View. I'm gonna drive by there. As soon as we're done with this podcast, I'm gonna drag you by the ear. And we're
gonna go look at this.
Just as I suspected.
No, it was a delicious meal and a good experience.
It was. They have goat cheese olives, not blue cheese olives. It's kind of interesting. The problem with the blue cheese, the blue cheese holds its shape when it's underwater. The goat start getting a little clouding up the water. It's a little more of a loose product compared to a blue cheese.
This is so disgusting. It's everything about an olive stuffed with any sort of stinky cheese is disgusting. Olives are one of the worst. I couldn't be less.
You're hating on olives now?
Oh, I couldn't be less.
You got a beautiful Spanish green olive.
I'm not chewing on that shit and then spitting out a pit.
Chris, a really good.
I don't
olive
like pit bulls.
So
I don't like pit barbecue. I don't like pits for my olives. Let me tell you.
Congrats to Rafael Nadal for winning the Australian
one of our
Open.
greatest Spaniards in a 5.5 hour grudge match.
And he is a lover of olives and olive oil. You want to know why his skin looks like a fucking Kenny Rogers Roasters?
Because he's rich.
Because he's putting all kinds of expensive olive oils on his skin.
I didn't watch, obviously, because it's Australia. It was a crazy time, but I saw that. So they did this 5.5 hour match, which is fucking brutal. It's like hot as fuck. They have cameras in the the backstage basically, and they go in there after the match and they always like to cool down. But because they're this level of athlete, they don't just sit down and have a Gatorade. He's so he does 5.5 hours, wins the match, goes back there and spins on the exercise bike. Keeping his body moving to cool it down so that to prevent injury.
So he doesn't get the bends, as it were.
Exactly, which is fucking insane.
Holy
Meanwhile,
shit.
Medvedev's ass is back there. He just puts his legs up on the wall like you.
Uh-huh.
He just scoots his butt up to the wall. He's like, I got to get this. I got to get the blood out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and you see who won. Winners.
I'm sure
winners cool
Medvedev.
down
I'm
on
sure
the bike.
Medvedev did a similar thing. I'm like,
Maybe that's something we should start doing, Chris.
I mean, it's just, although I consider myself to be an amateur athlete of sorts, the time commitment to that is
A full-time job.
Recovery is exceptional time wise.
Let's talk about the Sunday over there. At
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Beverly
to.
Grill, Chris.
You loved the Sunday, didn't you?
It was served in a coffee cup.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's your fault for ordering a Sunday. I think the thing there is key lime pie, correct?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not a key lime lover unless it's from Joe Stone Crab or Fat and Flour. I've been key lime pilled. I'm sure it's fine though. There was sushi there. Sushi was pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, I would rather go to a restaurant like that with you than go to some eater rated trash
Yeah,
where,
I probably would too.
it's not fun.
But I'm starting to feel bad about talking shit on restaurants and the service a little bit.
Really? That's literally the only thing I see you do.
I know, but the problem isn't me. The problem isn't the restaurants. It's not the critiquing. It's just, it's the bigger picture. It's the same thing as the Spotify versus Neil Young. They're using that to have two sides argue with each other while whoever's pulling the strings up
Keeps
top.
getting rich.
And it's the same thing. It's like the reason why restaurants are doing poorly is not their fault. It's not our fault. It's just the system is making the whole thing so difficult that it's so foolish to just open a restaurant.
Well, yeah.
It's so difficult to do it. It's sort of like, why are you guys doing this? It's so hard. And they're like, this is what I love, is what I believe in. I read Anthony Bourdain books and
Sure.
I'm going to be a restaurateur. It's my dream job to feed people and I can make money doing it. It's to be great. And it's so difficult.
Yeah, but
you don't make
that's not
any
my
mo-
fucking problem. I mean, so is what we're doing, and people shit on us all the time too. That's just what the deal is, man.
Yeah, but
I just don't like
No,
this-
I agree. But is it bad to critique it?
No,
or is
I
it
don't like this- no.
Do we need to critique?
I don't
it?
like this attitude of we have to be nice because it's hard. It's like that. That's not, life is fucking hard. If you do something in a public way, then you're opening yourself up to critique, and that's just the deal.
Right.
That's just what the deal is. I don't care if it's your life's work. I don't care if you put all your savings into it. That's not my fucking problem.
Yeah, I guess because you talk to anyone, any chef, any restaurateur, any person,
they hate it too.
They're just the one thing every single person says, hey, I'm thinking about opening a restaurant. What's one piece of advice you give me? And every single person says, don't do it.
Yeah.
Terrible idea. not joking, not saying this to be cute and fun and have like a irreverent answer to your question. Don't do it. It's so bad.
But that's
You're
because
going to lose $800,000.
the beauty of restaurants and what I like about them is the barrier of entry is still high. Whereas with like music or podcasting, it's you shit something out, you put it online, and people can tell you it's good or bad overnight. Restaurants, it does require a lot more, and the stakes are a lot higher, which is why I think critique is even more necessary.
But it stakes. Ooh,
I know. I did that. I really did that.
So that's why it's so heartbreaking, and it's also so funny. Like it's bad that I get pleasure about driving down the street and seeing a new restaurant that's being built, and you see like, oh, they're spending, these hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're redoing the plumbing in this building, and the air
floors are uneven. Oh, fuck.
They're just doing all this stuff, and you see the guy, over time it gets more and more, and you're like, oh, that looks ugly. Oh, that's what they're going to use. That's the tile there. Oh, they're painting it purple. Okay, and it gets worse and worse. And then you see like the name of the restaurant, and it's like Selfie Cafe or like About Last Night, or like there's a hashtag in the name of the restaurant, and I get high knowing that someone is going to lose millions of dollars off of this. Like, oh, it's so fun to see failure on that more epic scale.
I don't want to see anybody fail necessarily, but I do think,
of course not.
But I do think that like,
but why do I like it?
I just like restaurateurs like hating critics, and like, it's just like, bro, you should have done something else then. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like that's what you signed up for.
Just barbecue in your backyard for your family.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, we went to John and Vinny's, and the food is fucking delicious, but I had to listen to literally like J. Cole. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm going to talk shit on that forever. That doesn't affect their bottom line. Those guys are rich. They're making a fortune because the food is good. Like, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
We all have fun.
Yeah.
They like it.
They like. I also like. It's your restaurant. You do what you want to do with it. It's my choice to come here or not.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't change things because assholes like me are saying that they don't want to hear.
Maybe they should.
No, it's part of their bad brand is rap music because if the food is good enough, the brand doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's true. Or if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We've been playing J. Cole like since the first day we opened, and I've been printing money, and I just bought
this
my
works.
fourth
And it's
house.
also funny. Like I want to complain about it. Like I think it's funny to complain about it.
I do too.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter because I'm still like, damn, this is fucking good. And I also feel like it's like worth paying for. I don't feel like I'm getting ripped. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm overpaying.
At what point in your life or at your age will you go and then like put earplugs in very ceremonially so everyone sees you putting earplugs in?
I'm not far away from that. I mean, friend of the show, Mike McCoy, would go to a spin class and just have he's like, oh no, I just bring my own. I don't.
Damn, that's good.
He's like, I put AirPods in and I just do my thing. I don't.
That's a great idea.
I know,
that's the one, because I used to love doing a spin class.
The music is so bad.
But
always.
When you get bad music, I would walk out all the time, and it'd be such a bummer. It's like
except
I really
to my
don't
king,
want
except
to
for Parker. Out. Parker is Soho Soul Cycle.
Oh, okay.
The only one with the tunes.
What is Parker playing?
He plays like actual good shit that's current. Like he would play like the new Charlie XCX, and then he would play the Killers for me because he is from Utah. Maybe I'm a little biased on that, but it's cool.
It's good. He works for you.
He works for me. Yeah,
that's nice, man.
But I don't think that. But I will say the experience at a South Beverly Grill is probably better than most.
Yeah. Oh,
overall, like the food is always good. What I get there is good. Like what I go there to get this one thing and it's fucking good.
Sure.
But you seem to like the French dip.
Great French dip. I don't like that I spent, $30 on a French dip, but still it was great French dip.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
That's what matters, Jason. And you had a full-bodied red.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. My body doesn't feel that great this morning though.
Well, that's because you instead of working out, you stretched, which that might be an issue.
I've been going hard all week, bro.
I
got my sled.
Are you sledding today?
No.
So you're telling me rolling around on the floor like a child is the extent of what you're doing today?
No, I already went for a walk.
Okay, continue.
And then I was just doing stretching.
Mm-hmm. So when's the workout happening is what I'm asking.
It's not happening today.
So that was the extent of the movement.
I often take weekends off.
Whole weekends?
Well, usually one day. One day.
But this week you just had to take 2. It was a stressful week.
I just went too crazy this week with my new sled. That's why.
So Jason
my
bought
legs were just, like,
bought
kinda
a sled that looks like it's a dog toy. It's like a small sled.
How big do you want a sled to be?
Jason, a sled, when people talk about a sled in a gym, it's a sled they're pushing or pulling
Yeah.
that is a large size and you stack heavy weights on it.
Yeah. Well, I'm only pulling it with like a rope or something, so it doesn't need to be. It's not an actual.
But the
device
sled
that
literally
I'm
looks
holding.
like you would put. It looks like something Paris Hilton would put like a small dog on and drag behind her.
Okay, so because it's conveniently sized and I can move it in and out of my car and into the park, that's a bad thing. All it needs to it's a piece of metal with a pole sticking out, and
I
then
understand.
you put 45 plates on it or kettlebells or whatever. You could stand on it.
No, I just think it's no. I just like the.
You want it to be big.
I don't need it to be big because that doesn't make sense for obviously your portable lifestyle.
Doesn't make sense.
But I just like that you buy. There's every time I come over here, there's some new weird piece of fitness equipment that I've like sort of seen before, but you find a bad version of it on Amazon, and I'm just like, why does he buy this stuff? Like, you go to Equinox, why do you have all this stuff? They have the stuff.
None of this is at Equinox.
You know why, Jason? Because it doesn't need to be. That's the
Look,
whole
if
point.
there's so many gyms that have the AstroTurf.
Yeah,
set
of
up,
course.
And you do a drag,
No, it's
a sled.
but this sled
it's
is
not at Equinox.
This sled is literally. I'm not exaggerating. It's like the size of a dinner plate.
2x2.
It's 2x2. Okay, so when do we move into the point where you bring that into Equinox and try to do your thing?
Never. There's not enough runway.
Yeah.
I go to the park because I'll do like a mile with it or whatever.
Because you're
I
at that
don't want to
point,
just go 10 feet back
when
and
you're
forth.
when you're at the park, you're basically a dog toy.
Yeah.
You're tossing yourself in a circle, and the
I
neighborhood
throw
dogs
his ass in a circle.
and the neighborhood dogs are chasing you, nipping at your heels.
The problem is that because I do have the Amazon Prime cheap kettlebells,
Yeah.
the rubber on the outside is like a bright blue color, so the dog thinks that it's a ball.
An actual dog
Because
whistle.
it's just a round, colorful
Yeah.
thing that's being dragged around the grass. So little dogs will chase me around now. I have my noise canceling AirPods on. I'm listening to like a smart podcast about like biohacking, and then I'll be like,
the way that
scares the shit out of me, these dogs.
the way that you operate is baffling in a way that
Look,
I don't know.
for my specific knee injury
No,
that I'm recovering.
I'm happy for you.
Dragging a sled of 100 pounds worth of weight, but walking backwards is doing a great job of rehabilitating.
I'm
it.
glad.
It
I'm
looks
glad.
silly, but it's working.
I'm glad that you're getting silly with it, and it's and it's working for you. I'm happy for you. I just really.
I'm also playing lots of tennis.
My favorite thing about I feel like you're basically buying stuff you get Instagram ads for, and that's what.
Oh no! I get an Instagram ad for it, and then I spend 8 hours finding one that's $8 cheaper, made by a company called like Rage Fitness or something.
You're like, oh, this isn't even on Prime, but it's cheaper, so I'll wait 2
It
weeks.
comes wrapped in like Subway paper, the sandwich, not the transit
I saw
system.
a woman, bro. I saw a fucking woman walking her dog yesterday with a coffee from Subway,
Damn, bro.
like a Starbucks style cup from Subway, and I was like, "What happened to you? Like,
Yo, I
who
saw,
hurt you? Like, that's fucked up.
Of all the coffee that you can get,
Like, that McDonald's is better than that."
oh, McDonald's is great. I mean, Arco gas station got better than that. Lastly, I saw a Subway commercial featuring Serena Williams, another tennis player. They're talking about how they got new bread at Subway, and they do a boom smash cut. Nancy Silverton is in the Subway commercial, and Serena Williams is like, "Nancy, you just made some bomb ass new like." So we're meant to believe that Nancy Silverton is now making the bread at Subway.
I mean, look, Nancy deserves a check. Like, fuck it. Like, you're old. Cash the fuck out. You're cool.
That's
She
true.
She wears expensive clothes. Nancy. She's got to afford that.
Those CDG bags,
No,
they're
that-
vintage, they're not cheap.
This season, Marnie, you can't get that for the low.
True that.
You know.
But I'm like, damn. Subway bread was already perfect. The smell is intoxicating.
That's
Got
why.
perfect
That's
blend
why
of
she took the
chemicals.
job. She's like, yeah, okay, I'll be the creative director of bread at Subway.
Damn, the creative director of bread. Dollar signs though. All right, Chris. How Long Gone? Another great episode in the can. Thank you guys for listening. We have some great episodes coming up. Hopefully, there are going to be celebrities on here soon. We'll see.
I'm good. I prefer middling writers, but we'll talk about it. All right, How Long Gone, baby? We love you. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. it, I